Hello, Tabuka. How are you? Hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. That's what I needed to see. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and get this seed starter thing up. And then I'm gonna pull up Townstar.
Up here. Everyone else, we're going to start in a minute or two. I'm still going to let some more people roll in, but I will be bumping some people up here and there, you know, give you all a chance to say what you'd like to say. You know, you can always raise your hand as well. At least I think that's how this thing works. But other than that, it's going to be mostly free form. You know, the kind of rules I like to follow.
RC812, hello my friend, how's it going?
Spooka,
another everyone. Benefactor shit show? Yes.
You know,
so it seems.
Try not to cut people off. Try not to, you know, everyone has different opinions. Try not to call each other out. Let's just have a good time. So as we're letting people sift in, might as well introduce you all to what this is about. This is Seed Starter Money Tree. Just have some, I guess, a couple things to go over. It's a space where we'll routinely introduce the listeners to new offerings that are going live on Seed Starter. Today we'll be talking with and learning more about the creators of Gala Collective. It's a community-run DAO that's looking to build on top of Gala games. If you go to www.myseedstart.com, you can
Tim
actually
Swank, hello my friend, how's it going, brother? Welcome.
Offering that's live right now.
How are you doing?
About them.
Good to see you.
Into that in a minute. Before we hop
Archie, remember you? Of course I do. Hello, how are you?
Just a few housekeeping items to take care of. You know, many of you may know, before doing what I'm doing now, I was once a lawyer, and of course I have to start this off with the fun and loved legal disclaimer. And that's
legal
that
disclaimer.
I want to throw it out there that securities are a highly regulated space, and the rules regarding the discussion and advertising of them are very strict. First and foremost, I'm here as myself, not on behalf of Seed Starter. Anything that I say is my opinion and not that of Seed Starter. And also regarding any offerings that we talk about, anyone that we bring up, we're here to learn more about the initiatives themselves. While the people who we bring up, they can talk about their offering briefly. So Gala Collective, they're going to tell you a little bit about what they're offering, and I'm going to prompt them. But their commentary and statements are generally going to be kept towards what the Gala Collective is itself, what their goals are, and not any kind of security issuances. Any questions regarding that legally are supposed to take place on the Seed Starter platform. So we're going to work through that. I know it's a little bit awkward to work through, you know, dealing with securities laws, but that's what we're here for. We're just here to learn more about this initiative and awesome people. And I'm going to bring up different people that I've met in my time in the crypto space.
Tim Swank, we keep it up with Gala on fire. I love using it for roast marshmallows. That's good, my friend. I hope you're having fun.
Anyway,
roasted marshmallows.
Who doesn't really know what
good, thanks. How are you? Why you vape? I vape because I like it, Archie, and I'm old enough to do it legally.
First and foremost, it's an equity crowdfunding platform.
I hope you do.
It's more formally known as
appreciate
a
you, Tim.
Portal. It's registered by the SEC and by FINRA. It's licensed by the SEC and by FINRA.
We have this the space is up right now.
Investing. The whole point of it is to connect companies.
Can you guys hear it?
That are seeking funding with the unaccredited investors rather than the VC route. So basically, if a company is seeking funding, they can go to the world, essentially, rather than having to, you know, either know somebody or talk to a bunch of VCs and try to raise funds that way. It's basically a new way to raise funds that is more exciting.
Has GTA gotten higher up on the list?
Than dealing with VCs.
GTA, no, it hasn't, but my list has only gotten longer, my brother.
You know, it's important to discuss why blockchain has helped to spark the passion.
You're talking about playing it online, right?
Creation of Seed Starter. One of my favorite
Playing
things about
multiplayer
crypto
and stuff?
blockchain is
I
it's
haven't,
really given
unfortunately.
the unaccredited investor the ability to.
There's
is
been
to
so
look at
much
a
going on,
project
dude.
and invest
So
in
much
it,
going on,
where
Archie.
Generally, somebody that's not accredited would not be able to invest in early
Dude,
stage
so much
startups.
going on. A lot
You
of
wouldn't be
drama
able
with
to get into
Gala.
Google early. You wouldn't be
So,
able to get into all these companies early because of these
yes,
accredited
ring
investors
light.
rules. And I know that a lot of people have a lot of different opinions about those. But this
You're going to have to
allows
remind me
those
when I tell you I'm on my
investors the
way,
ability
Shelly.
to get involved.
Because
And
I'm not
then,
going to
you know,
remember.
Second, I saw kind of the writing on the wall, and I know this is an unpopular opinion, but it's there, that the SEC was going to call most token offerings and NFT offering securities. And I wanted to create a way for project owners to either issue or sell tokens and NFTs, as well as just the traditional Web 2 method of securities, you know, that are paper securities and all that. But package them in a security offering.
Has the guy paid you to shave the mustache yet, Archie? No, that person never returned, as I expected. So,
not the NFTs
it's all good.
being securities.
Get to keep the mustache for now.
But really how they're
Tapuka, can you try to beat me with baguettes? I'm at 320. Yeah, we'll see, Tapuka. There ain't much time left.
If you can package these things in a security offering, sell them by registering them, and then have these things ultimately not be a security and not have to be as afraid of the SEC in the U.S. SeedStarter itself does have a test in the waters live today for the SeedStarter token, which is a royalty and revenue sharing token that our plan is to issue on the XRPL, which I'm sure many people in this audience kind of see the irony of that. You can check that out at www.myseedstarter.com. And just one more thing before we start talking to Forged about his project. And you know, it's more than
mustache is still on my face, brother.
It's important that everyone knows what a test in the waters is. A test in the waters offering is a step that a company can take before a formal offering, where you can gauge interest from potential investors and learn if there's a market for what you want to do. So you say, hey, I have this company or this DAO or this idea, and I want to do it, and I want to issue a security. World, are you interested? And you know, anybody can come along and you can indicate interest, not commit to anything, not actually have to turn over money. Just tell that company, hey, or that project, those founders, I'm interested.
It's 2 weeks to October. You're all set already? It is almost Spooktober. I am super ready. I would like to have the goal of streaming for the entirety of Spooktober, so hopefully I can do that this time.
Gala Collective is one of the first offerings that we have live on SeedStarter in the test and waters phase. So with that, I'll turn it to Forged if you want to talk first and kind of tell everyone a little bit about why you.
I should have known that big floppy whale was going to be involved in this.
Hey everybody. Yeah, I mean, you said it when you started. You said Forged's project. And really
how do you donate? Donate to what, my friend?
I started the project, but it's the community's project.
Donate to shaving my mustache.
That are in these spaces that I've collaborated
Crypto
with.
dude, hello, my brother. How are you?
Talked with even, you know, we had a bunch of people in person in a big meeting.
Here's the spaces, by the way.
To kind of go.
I'll put it over here on the left. That way you guys can see it.
Creating a space that includes the community of Gala.
No, like a sub.
Specifically to allow them to.
I think it's just follow on Kick.
You know, potentially
Archie?
own a portion.
Is that
of
what you're talking about? But
may not always be able to have ownership or revenue share within those assets. Have a community that's able to, you know, create a voice to help.
They had the
build,
pumpkin farmers. Yeah, pumpkin farmers were cool. I did like that.
What we think Gala should really be.
Yeah, Archie. I think.
It's,
thought you could donate like Twitch. That I don't know. I don't know.
Gaming company, and
I'm not too familiar with Kick, to be honest.
And I think we just need a community that a community voice for that. That's really what the Gala Collective is.
I don't know. Doesn't give you an option to do that?
At the core. There's a lot more to it, but I mean that's the core of it.
Yeah, that's super cool. And for those who don't know, I worked at Gala for a little over a year or so as their chief legal officer, and before that, I was just a Gala community member, and I got introduced to
Archie. Yeah, I stream on. I'm live right now on YouTube and Twitch, Trovo. I'm live on a bunch of places.
First NFT, I believe, from Old Man Smithers, which I think I saw him somewhere in this call. I'll probably bring him up later. But something that I was always passionate about. Just in the
same name, yeah. On YouTube, it's Lycan Warlord.
It's not just applicable to Gala; it's applicable to everything. But
Twitch is Lycan _ Warlord. I think that's the difference.
Having a project do it all itself. You know, creating this opportunity for community members to build. Can you speak on kind of what Gala Collective plans on doing, you know, on top of Gala games? You know, like what kind of things do you want to build? What kind of things do you want to do?
Well, the biggest thing that we're working on, well, there's two large things. One is we want to build a marketplace that's
Tabuka, by the way, I like your last Townstar video. The hand is amazing. Did they say that? Yeah, you like my hand?
And
that's from one of my mom's best friends. That was her gift to me.
Talking with Gala to work out, you know, how potentially that would work, because obviously there has to be some access to the Gala chain to be able to build that. But we want to build a marketplace and the decks that would kind of go along with that. One thing, we want to be able to build games, whether that be a game that potentially was going to be a part of Gala that didn't quite work out, that people really liked, or brand new games that want to be put onto the Gala chain itself. We want to be a part of that, whether it be the development or deployment or even funding of that game for a development team. So we've talked with a few different game developers to actually, you know, work towards that goal. We want to purchase a Citadel, or if Gala's listening, we'll take in donation.
I don't want to hear nothing about no Citadel. That fucking Mirandus ain't coming out, bro.
A decentralized Citadel that's owned by the people.
That shit ain't coming out, bro.
Mirandus, which I know most people that are listening to this know what Mirandus is, that game itself, which I think when we look at Gala, it's the most sought after game that they have on their platform, and people are super excited about that one. So
that one ain't coming out.
That's just a couple of things.
Yeah, that's super cool. That would be really cool to own a Citadel. I mean, that's kind of like, for those who do, it looks like most people probably know what Mirandus is, but for those who don't, it's an MMORPG. It's not the cause so much hype because it's really like D&D.
Art, what's up? Archie from Kick. Hello, my friend. How are you doing? Welcome.
You know, type.
Yeah, appreciate you, man.
Something that I was extremely, or am still extremely.
Sorry, I was trying to figure out my my window here.
If you get a Citadel, I get to be the lawyer there. That's the law. You know, just the law in that Citadel.
Were there actually lawyers? Do you want to just be the law? Like you want a sheriff's badge?
Yeah. What would they call it? Like I don't know, the rule. I don't even know, the lawmaker. You know, you don't have to follow it. I don't want any power. I just want to walk around pretending like I do. Just for the role.
Okay, maybe we'll give you a hammer too. How about that?
Cool. Yeah, so something that's great about, you know, like we've been talking about, is building on Gala and building things for Gala. You know, someone who's done that and is also a part of this initiative is Timbo. Timbo Slice. So Tim, you introduce yourself. Let us know what you've been doing and kind of what your interests are in Gala Collective. Can you talk again? It was kind of low. Let's see. Yeah, your mic is really low. I don't know if everyone else is having that problem too, or it's just me. All right. In the meantime, while you try to figure out what you're doing, I don't know, Faz, why don't you hop in? You were the first person to introduce me to Gala. What are your thoughts on Gala Collective? And
Faz is here.
Interest in getting involved?
Or, Lord.
Just like a happy watcher.
Did you hear that Wake's MMA is canceled? Big Men are supposed to be there, and they have some big news. Oh, Lord.
You're on mute, Faz, if you are trying to talk.
No, Tapuka, I didn't hear that. Thank you for telling me.
We're having some,
I find it interesting. Find it interesting. Everybody's been quiet.
It was either yesterday or the day before about some of the ideas that he and Faz Radio potentially could bring to the collective itself. He had some really good ideas that I think would be really beneficial. When you look at that, it's content creators are going to be, not just for Gala itself, but for the collective. We want to bring them in and give them the support of that community as well, to push forward whatever game they like to play or whatever kind of content they're trying to put out there, as long as it fits well with the collective.
I think they put on P2E but freeze payments. That makes sense.
This moving forward.
Cool. Yeah, and I tried to.
I mean, they got to do whatever they can to try and get some positive press, right, Tapuka?
I guess not. Okay, I tried to bring up Titan as well, who is a co-host with us, but I don't think he sees the request. You know, there's a couple of you I've been trying to add you up here. Just keep checking.
I'm here.
Oh,
can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, we can.
Perfect. Yo, yeah.
So,
I've
I don't
been
know.
working with Forge for a long time and been helping kind of create the ideas behind this. And
Definitely more people playing this week, Tapuka. There's over 2,000 towns.
And my council.
There's more towns than last week.
Yeah, like Jesse talked about it before, about building on top of the Gala ecosystem and Gala chain in general, and that's kind of where our heads have been at, and that's, you know, part of what excites me a ton about the Gala Collective is kind of giving the community a voice, bringing us all together, and then allowing us to help Gala create this whole ecosystem into what we want it to be, you know, like giving them
Crypto Dude, anime was canceled due to big news coming next week, but expect the next event and NFT sale announcement to go out later today or tomorrow. Well, that's good, Crypto Dude. I'd hate for people to miss out on FT sales. Hope you're doing well, Crypto Dude, by the way.
Guided, and we can build these initiatives and bring them to them.
I really,
That's super cool.
I don't know how I feel about still swinging for the fences with Gala here. Sale, always going to be money. Yeah, okay. Tapuka, I'm still 320. Well, that's awesome, Tapuka. Yeah, what I was saying, Tapuka, was that there was just, there was, you know, more than I expected.
You're not Gala related, you're, you know, metaverse.
Because last week it was fucking less than 2,000 for sure.
You can probably talk to
maybe because this one's easier. Maybe because people know how to do baguettes already.
Your metaverse is live. You know, when everything you build is live, to have your own community building additional things for that. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, Jesse, I think it's very interesting what you're doing, and for us, you know, Bob Way is one of your advisors as well. He's our chief of product, and it's crucial for people like us or projects like us to have people building. So not only for Expector, but definitely for people that are interested in building out stuff in the Expectorverse. I think your initiative is really nice, and we're always happy to support.
Once I get this
cool.
first
Could
milk, be great. This price is amazing. What price? We're talking about the reward structure where you're at.
Your community members, you know, not even saying getting funding through seedstarter, but like pursuing funding in other ways other than just through Expector. And building additional, you know, applications.
Archie, hello, my friend. How's it going? Welcome.
Yeah,
I really need this, and I have an epic Meadow FT. Yeah,
make it a success. So,
sure,
yeah, I
sure,
look
Tapuka.
forward to what you guys
gotta have it.
be doing.
Cool, thanks. Yeah, that's great. Blake, do you have any additions on kind of what we've been talking about in community initiatives and all that?
Storehouse capacity. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
the larger storehouse for sure is nice.
You know,
is that one of the rewards, Tapuka? I didn't even look this
really
time.
Identified 3 core problems that we think are currently just plaguing the Gala ecosystem as a whole.
Well, this should be good. 3 core problems that's plaguing the Gala ecosystem.
You know, voice and engagement are huge. You know, kind of despite the rapid growth we've started to see, there's kind of an overall feeling of being somewhat unheard or under-engaged within the Gala ecosystem and the changes people are wanting to see.
You don't say.
You know, whether that's in-game, whether that's ecosystem-wide. And so we think some of those that are going unaddressed are easier to address when it's coming from a group and a decentralized organization like what we're trying to create, because it has a little bit more backing to it than...
It's like the blueprint what gives more space to us. Oh, okay. Gotcha, Tapuka. Yeah, that's the new thing they're calling them is blueprints now, aren't they?
Things is just the blockchain barrier that kind of exists right now in that bridge between traditional gamers and Web3 gaming. You know, kind of the 2 main reasons there is just one that we kind of touched on with the Citadel is limited access to high value game assets. And that's kind of across the board. You have to imagine there's only a handful of people who can really afford these multi-$1,000 singular game items and things of that nature, and that itself creates a barrier to people coming in. So allowing everyone to kind of have a piece of the pie, so to speak, and be able to utilize some of these assets in game, we think is huge. And alongside that, you know, touching on what we talked about with Faz and the content creation side, there's a sort of a knowledge gap as well, not only just between blockchain and the entire crypto ecosystem, but as these games get so complex and they have earning potentials and things like that, the complexity of them really starts to rise. And so having some sort
I have
of
almost all
avenue to
only
kind of
mind
break
effect cards
down,
missing. Yeah, I'd have to look to Puka to
does
see
this
what I
actually
have.
look
I
like?
don't
How can I
remember.
be successful in this game? You know, I want to learn more about the ecosystem. Having people in
You
the
know, I haven't paid
community
attention to that in a
directly
while.
bringing that content, we think is huge. And so, you know, in order to kind of foster dialogue and educate on the value of Web3,
Sugar sale
you know,
should
we
be
think
coming
that
in soon,
this could be a great activation for
we can
anyone
put
looking
us
to,
some.
you know, kind of be a part of a new wave.
Awesome. Yeah, those are good
females.
thoughts. And Faz, I see you're here. I'll let you talk in 1 second. But just to catch anyone up who's joined recently, what's really cool about what we're talking about here is, you know, they are going to be launching a token, you know, but what we're talking about is a token that, you know, if launched, if they ultimately do it, is a security. You know, you're actually registering something as a security and saying, hey, world, you know, we're not afraid of the SEC. We're not afraid of actually coming into compliance with this. And this is what it is. You know, this is what it means. This is what you're entitled to as investors. So finding a way around, you know, all these companies trying to raise funds, but are, you know, I don't want to say they're not doing it compliantly, because the law is questionable, but they're, you know, slightly taking advantage sometimes of the way that things exist and you know, the way that the world works and the way that US security laws work. So you're not supposed, you know, if you're going to raise funds and you're raising those funds in a way to further your business, you're supposed to be doing it in a compliant security offering. And this is a way that you can do it, and you can do it with unaccredited investors. Anyway, you know, that was just to catch you back up. If you want to learn more about this, you know, something I said earlier is we can talk about the initiative. We can't really talk about the token that much.
He did use the word investor, Galaman.
On the
yes.
platform, there's a place where you can ask questions there and learn more
yes. So
information.
Gala's ex-lawyer
Faz,
is
you know,
trying to do it the right way. Is basically the way to think of this.
So I'd love to hear from you.
I believe Jesse is.
Hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear
I think he's. I don't know if he started SeedStarter or what. I'm not too sure.
So I'm very interested. Yeah, I just talked with Fortune Crypto about the Gala Games Collective, and I'm very interested in it because it seems that Gala's community has a different idea.
Good old Faz
of
the
what
simp talking now.
Community means than Gala Games.
Good old
itself.
Faz the
Now,
simp,
Gala
baby.
Games is certainly, they started.
If you
their
guys want to check
community,
this
and
out, by the way, on
certainly
your own
encourage
computer,
the
in case you don't want to
community
listen
make,
to it on here,
a lot of
here's
choices
the
to help
Twitter
them
space,
decide things.
by the way.
But there's this growing disconnect between what I think Gala wants and what the community wants. The community wants to go right, Gala wants to go left. Well, Gala has made it clear that they want to listen to their community.
Maverick, Gala Games can't make good games. I
don't
agree.
get the sense that
The only
they
games they
are
have that are
listening
worth
to the
anything are
community
made by the
entirely.
people.
They're
Also, Maverick,
prioritizing
hello, how are you
certain
doing, my
things
friend?
above what the community
Also,
wants,
Galaman, hello, my
my
friend, how are you doing?
observation. So the Gala
Galaman,
Games Collective is a way to get to
right now,
it's like,
Faz
okay,
from Faz
Gala's
Radio
not
is
gonna give
speaking,
information
and
on
Jesse
things.
Hines, the former law
What can
tank
we
of
find?
Gala
What
Games,
can we
is
source
the one
from
hosting
games?
this.
You know, let's record this stuff and put it down. If Gala's
Lack
not
of
gonna give
execution,
information
100%.
on
Now,
the history of things,
Maverick,
how
people are
things
going to
are
point
moving,
to this whole
fine,
lawsuit
then we
thing
can
in the
source that
background is
stuff
why
and
everything
put
was
that.
bad. I don't think it was bad. I don't think that's why.
Really what Gala spoke to when they started out, with their community. They wanted their community to have a bigger voice, and the Gala Games
All right,
Collective
our
seems
salt
to
just
me
sold.
to be the community finally
Let's go
deciding
ahead and
to
put
just take
milk for
what-
sale.
just give their voice. Okay, this is how we really
All
see
right,
it.
salt went through.
We have the nodes, we have the votes. Let's actually get this stuff going.
That's a cool, you know, input, because that's what blockchain is supposed to, well, not supposed to be, but that's what a lot of people want, is they want true decentralization. And this is a way that, you know, not getting into what Gala is or isn't doing and everything like that, but this is a way where the community can create their own decentralization if they don't feel that they're getting it. Classy, I want to get to you in a minute because I have, you know, I think you have something interesting to offer.
I didn't realize there were going to be so many simps on here, guys. I'm sorry.
I pulled up Old Man Smithers, and I want to let him kind of throw out his thoughts on this, because he's been, I don't know, Gala for 100 years, right? You know, I think you've been there since the beginning, maybe.
I didn't expect this level of simpage to be on here. I apologize, everyone.
I don't know about the beginning. Can everybody hear me?
We can hear you, yeah.
Please forgive me.
Awesome. Yeah, I got involved in late December of 2020, so there's quite a few in here that I think were before me, but I haven't been
Please
around
forgive
long
me.
enough to watch the morph of what Gala said they wanted to be to where we are today. And I really do like the idea of the collective, because, again, it's community driven. I think its success, a large part of its success, is going to be predicated on how much Gala.
Hope everybody's doing well. Happy
Collective.
Thursday.
I really
We're
like
listening
what
to the
Timbo
spaces.
and Forged have been doing, making tools, even if Gala doesn't exactly help them. They're going ahead and making the tools.
Again, I've got nothing against the Gala community, right? I don't. That's who I care about most.
In my opinion,
so if this is really from the Gala community's perspective, then great.
Along with that, make it a lot more easy to do.
I just don't trust Gala,
For APIs for years, just as an easy example.
Maverick, even if it's decentralized, the game can shut down any time and entities become worthless. Yes,
like Gal said, they always
that is correct.
I really like the idea of the direction they're going with it. I'm really interested to see how Gala approaches it, because up until now, it's been a challenge getting them to actually do what they say they want.
Have you heard any criticisms of Champions Arena?
I have high hopes that they're going to embrace
other
it.
than I can't play because of my username, I think most people are pretty happy with it. However, there's
no reason
multi-accounting and people are abusing the cash-out system and stuff.
If someone tried to create an initiative,
as you would expect, nothing less from Gala.
But these are people who want to build things for Gala. So I agree. I hope they embrace it. I think they ultimately will, but we'll see where that goes.
There's a lot of gray areas, it seems.
I've never actually met you. I think you joined kind of the Gala community after I left work in there. But
here comes Classy the Simp, baby.
Being an
get ready for Classy,
especially in the Gala space, something that's always I
would like to try out Champions Gala, man, but I can't play because my account name, and I'm not changing my account name. Now, that said, I expect Champions Arena to turn into what Townstar did. It's going to fluff up real quick and then going to crash down once people take all the money out of it.
From their, the people who are
That's what I
passionate
think's
about
gonna
them,
happen.
the people who follow them, and then use that to increase their marketing, increase their assets and games and things like that, and then pass, some of their revenue down. So it's kind of a two-part question. One, is that something that you think you could ever find yourself doing? But two, do you find yourself wanting to get involved in the Gala Collective in some way, or are you just kind of like a passive? We're on the same kind of mission. Let's work together. Love to hear more from you on that.
Yeah, so it's a pleasure to be here. Always a pleasure to meet you, Jesse. I'm kind of sick, so if I mute, it's probably because I'm sneezing or something.
Mute because you got to cough the Gala dick out your mouth, Classy.
We need decentralization on Gala. I think it's great that there's a collective. I don't know a lot of information about it. I've spoken to Timbo, and I know Forge really wants me to look into it. But overall, it's like, I spent, what?
Does this guy sound like somebody you can trust, huh? Does this guy really sound like somebody you can trust, huh?
Probably should have grant programs that should be built out by officials.
Does this guy sound trustworthy to you?
Why hasn't that been done already? So when Timbo was like, okay, we're making a token, and we're doing something here to hopefully, crowdsource and fund some stuff, I'm like, okay, why not? We've needed this forever. I mean, we need more tools. It's like, the only education you'll get on Gala is either like going to the mob or going to us on YouTube, looking up Classy. And it's like, okay, Classy.
Looking up Classy.
So we need more people out there. There are, maybe 2 content creators that actually produce content on the Gala Games Network, which is ridiculous, right?
There's only 2 content creators,
huh? To show how funding works right now on Gala. And fortunate for me,
only 2 creators, huh?
To fund everything I've wanted to do off of whatever people buy on the affiliate sales and, sponsorships I get from other places and deals and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I could see the opportunity for people to build out all these different applications and websites through these grant sourcings. Like, this is great. Why not?
Awesome.
Only 2 creators,
point,
huh?
And I like that. And this is the one thing that has me the most excited about this. I mean, I'm excited about this for a lot of reasons.
I had to comment. I couldn't resist.
Is that
on this, you can't trust anything he says. He only thinks there's 2 people that make content on Gala.
A lot of different experiences with
you
Gala,
heard that,
a lot
right?
of different opinions with Gala.
There's only 2 people that make content on Gala.
Absolutely in love. Some don't feel the same way anymore. Some are passionate, but about what it used to be. But everybody, that I've heard so far is in agreement that this is a good idea. If there's anybody out there who thinks it's a bad idea, definitely raise your hand. I'll bring you up and you can let me know why. But that's the great thing, is that I see that everybody seems pretty excited about this, or at least thinks that this is a good idea. Simon, I'd love to hear from you. I know you've been waiting a little bit. So what are your thoughts on all this?
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Cool. I actually think it's a really good idea. I like it because, as Old Man Smithers was saying, and as Forge was saying earlier, they're trying to bring a collective. They're trying to. It's not necessarily to bring people to account or to hold Gala to account, because obviously they need to they need to agree to a certain extent. They need to work together and cooperate. The one thing I do like is Gala's already got an attempt at decentralization. They do vote throughout this system, and I think if the collective can get enough of the larger stakeholders that are involved, because there is a group of large stakeholders in Gala that do own an awful lot of the nodes, that do own an awful lot of the NFTs, and if the collective can attract them, and they can actually, it means that the DAO would actually hold some power.
Sadly, is right though.
And
YouTube's put out 110% of the info on who I want to, but if you're making enough to stay in Discord, you might get info. Well, what I'm saying, Rob, is he said there's only 2 creators. So who is he talking about?
Really
right? Himself and who else?
Can
right?
actually kind of infiltrate.
Who else is he talking about? That's really what I want to know.
To start to make some improvements that the actual community want that don't necessarily align with what the company wants. And because, things don't necessarily always go the way the company wants, and things don't necessarily always go the way the community wants. What doesn't seem to happen in the Web3 space at the moment is there doesn't seem to be like a grand compromise, which I think we need like in everything. And I think this could be the start of what we see as a compromise between what a company's aiming to achieve, what the community want to achieve, and how we can best see those results. And I like this approach to it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see this happen here and everywhere else, to see the interplay between, a company's form of decentralization and a community's form of decentralization, where that ultimately ends up. There could be some really good dynamics there. And just so everyone knows, Simon is someone who I've known for a long time.
Maybe?
His project now is ODYSSEY. He's one of the advisors for SeedStarter.
Simon can definitely tell you a little bit more about ODYSSEY. I think you give Wookie the boot.
So Simon, give everybody just a little summary of what you all are doing.
What we're attempting to do and what we'll push forward with, there's things that are coming out with everybody, and we do a lot of collaborations with people that are in this room, but VC funding, this whole top-down approach was what crypto was supposed to fix, and all we've done so far in the space is recreate exactly what Web2 do. So there is still VC funding, there is still so many companies that are massively VC funded that we rely on the tools all the time. And I think the same as what Forge is trying to do with the Gala community, and is to actually bring the community into these things and these projects from the ground up, to have their say, to have their vote, to have their voice, and the same as what Jesse's doing with SeedStarter. It is to not circumnavigate the laws, because we actually looked for ways to and there isn't ways to do it like properly. So the only way to do it is to register and to build from the ground up, and to have community involvement and all this. And ODYSSEY was the company that we decided to actually build to start this out. So we started and we gave a fixing point, and then we're going to move forward, and we're going to build everything that people need, and we're going to help people.
He's invited me to
this group, and we're going to help people within other groups, and we're going to give the community the tools that they need.
So let's see how this goes.
That they actually own, so they're not VC funded.
Yeah, that's really cool. I love to hear more people that are in a sense building things for other people. Like everyone has their ideas, and everyone has their passions and things they want to do, but what's really missing is people to fulfill those goals, and people who will build these crazy ideas that we all have, and actually bring them to fruition. So it's super cool. DS, I know you asked to come back up, so I imagine you had something you wanted to throw out here. You can go ahead if you hear me. Okay, I don't know if he's there. So Nate, I'll give you a chance to, you've been kind of on mute for a while. You've heard a lot of things. Any thoughts about what you've heard? Any leaks you can give? You mentioned games you've been talking to. Are you allowed to talk about any of them?
I mean, honestly, there was nothing signed on anything else, but obviously there's, I don't know. I probably shouldn't say anything.
Yeah, I call it a friend DA. Yeah, I'm the lawyer trying to make you squeal, right? I'm the one trying to get you to break it.
I'm not going to say anything on it. There's as soon as I can.
It's my boy Lycan. What's up, Falcon? How are you doing?
I'll set it out there, everybody, that I can say if it even is going to happen. And all it is right now is just talk, right? And there's interest there's 2 games specifically. There's interest of bringing a the
Seasonal pixel
Gala
art. Yes, my
Collective
friend, of
aspect
course.
to the game,
Your
whether
pixel art was fantastic, Falconer.
into helping
I
the
really do
development
appreciate
of the game,
I've had no reason to
or
change it. It's
ownership and
the
revenue
best.
share of the game,
It's
or
perfect.
some
You know.
combination of both. So
I hope you've been well, bud.
I think what we have here is a good group of
I'm alive, brother. I'm alive. I'm alive.
People.
That's all I can say. I'm alive.
Are exactly what we're looking to do.
How about
to
you?
bring into the collective, right? The voices that everybody here that they're expressing.
Plugging alone, surviving, thriving. Hey, there you go, brother. That's all you can. That's all we can do, right?
To Gala, the company itself, so they can hear what we have going on. So
awesome.
I ran out of cash.
And you know, anybody who wants to come up, you know, just request it, and I'll pop you up here. I think it's a good time to turn towards, like, you know, people, anyone who has questions, who wants to throw in any commentary, rather than just hearing me. You know, I'm a terrible interviewer. So I know Philip had asked to pop up, so I'd love to hear, you know, introduce yourself.
Trying to learn some parallel
TG.
TG. Gotcha.
Hey, awesome. Thanks, Jesse, and greetings to everyone here. So I'm an old hand in the virtual reality field. I've been building metaverses.
Parallel TCG. I feel like I've heard that before.
I'm currently building my 7th.
Also, everybody, this is your hourly reminder to do your coin supply, do your free Bitcoin.io, refresh your Brave browser. Get your free cryptos, ladies and gentlemen. Get your free cryptos. Don't miss out on your free cryptos.
Entire audience here, which is with our metaverse that we've been building. We were going to announce it last year, September, but our investors, at the last moment, they told us, no, guys, you can only fire that bullet once, and it's not the right time.
Latest and greatest TCG, entity-based P2E.
Really started
all right.
Kicking in.
And so Falconer, can you send me a DM about it later at some point?
Trigger, and we didn't announce, and
please and thank you.
That announcement for us was also going to be the starting shot for a new round of fundraising. And so today, a year later, we are again contemplating to announce and to kick off our round of fundraising.
It doesn't matter, Falconer. Send me wherever. I mean, Discord's probably easier because I have it saved there, you know? But it don't matter.
Our reading
whatever's easier for you.
The investment climate out there is that the metaverse winter is still ongoing. It's not over. And to make matters worse, the crypto winter is still ongoing. So we're kind of trying our best at reading the tea leaves. You know, what is the good timing for coming out with our announcing it formally, breaking stealth, and I mean, we've seen recently the.
It's cool that this guy's in VR. I'm sure a lot of us would like to think of like VR being in the crypto space, but
Ripple,
I don't know how that would work.
So, if that's evidence, if that's a data point, it's possible to do a big raise even in the metaverse winter. So, here's the question. What do you think? Is the metaverse winter over? Is now a good time to go ahead and start doing a new round of fundraising for a metaverse, or should we hold our horses and wait a bit longer until the metaverse winter and the crypto winter are really over?
That's an interesting question, and you know, as you can imagine, it's a hard one to answer, right? In my opinion.
I don't got no money.
If anybody wants to put in the comments, you know, there's obviously the VC, but then as, you know, just regular individuals, you know, some of you may be VC, some not, some may accredited, some be unaccredited. What's the interest level in being able to invest in, you know, what is your personal interest level? And anyone who wants to come on stage and talk about it and being able to invest in a metaverse, you know, I think that Expector versus DS might have, you know, I know he's popping up, might have a good viewpoint because, you know, he's kind of doing the same thing, right? Oh, he dropped back down. I lost him. Does anybody up here on stage have kind of, Simon is unmuted, so I'll let him go.
I can put in a quick one. Coming from sort of that world, I can honestly say, I mean, you just hit the nail on the head with what you said about Ripple. If a company has a great idea and a great concept and they pitch it properly, then investors are always, just because like it's a what you call a crypto winter or a metaverse winter within the crypto space, I would look at doing it via exactly Jesse's platform, because that's what these platforms are here for. They're for actual securities, they're for actual raises, they're for attracting actual investors. And I would not necessarily lead towards a token or an offering, or, you know, if you've spent years building something and you think it's a great idea, then pitch it, because
I'm going to probably ask him.
investors don't stop just because things stop. They're always looking.
That's a good viewpoint. And you know what I can say, I don't think I can say much, but I've seen Philip's Metaverse and it's amazing. It's really cool. And I had a really good time in it. So, you know, I'm excited for whatever way you end up doing it. But whichever way it is, you know, I know that you're going to have a lot of people who are going to be very interested. Does anybody else have any kind of thoughts on VC versus unaccredited? You know, what's the market like right now? You know, from
only way to get out of the crypto winter is to start a thaw or start something going. And I see seedstarter as an alternate way of doing that, but uses existing rules. I mean,
I went up to see if I can speak, so we'll see what happens.
You fight the war with the army you have, not the one that you'd like. So the one that we'd like is we'd like crypto to become its own asset type and be approved by the U.S. government, and, you know, start working with that. However, the army we have is securities, and if you start your project with that and get registered properly, then you're going out of the gate, and you can go sooner rather than later. So that's what I see with seedstarter. Is yes, I'd like to see crypto become all the things that it should be, but until then, there are options. There are good options with making it a security.
Yeah, I mean, I am.
I'm gonna have to turn the volume down when I go talk,
that,
so
you know,
it might get low for you guys.
Not if you build it,
you'll be able to hear me at least.
If you announce it and you give people a really compelling reason for why they would want to get involved, I think there's still a lot of interest even in this bear market, especially in, you know, there's a lot of people right now who are trying to figure out what to do with their money, and, you know, unfortunately, a lot have found themselves in bad prior investments where people have rugged them and whatever, and now they're looking for a safer route, or a route that, you know, is more protected. So I'm not going to say that applies to all, because many people are still afraid of getting involved in anything that uses the word security. But you know, in my opinion, the path that I think that people should consider taking, whether you go VC or not, is called testing the waters, which is what the Gala Collective is doing, and that's kind of why we're here and talking about it, is finding out, is there interest? Because you can come on a space and I can tell you that there's 100% interest, but, you know, I might be wrong. But when you actually get out there and you test the waters and say, here, this is what I'm doing, tell me if you're interested. The worst thing you find out is that people aren't interested, and then you have to figure it out. You know, it's not like you had a failed race. You just found out that the regular people, you know, they're not themselves interested in that, and you need to find a way to raise VC. Go ahead, Philip.
So I wanted to add two things to what I said earlier. We are, as you yourself indicated, Jesse, we are very keen and determined to also use seedstarter as a platform to do part of the raise. But we are thinking that probably should be coordinated with the rest of the raise, and so that it's kind of a pincer movement and a coordinated attack or raise. The second thing I'd wanted to add is that, and it's kind of inspired by the comment of the earlier gentleman, if not now, then when? So we have been umming and ahhing about that for a year now, because we really were gung-ho, you know, champing at the bit to announce last September, and our investors talked us out of it. And in hindsight, we are grateful to them that they talked us out of it. They were right. But it, of course, just kicks the can down the road. How do you time this thing right? And that's where I wanted to make an additional data point. For the last year and longer, we've been tracking the investment markets and the investment community
1900th place, baby.
And
Let's go.
There obviously has been a mad rush
Let's go.
into anything and everything AI, generative AI, etc. And actually, to the detriment of everything else, right? In the IT industry, you can get a crazy AI startup funded relatively easily, but good luck trying to get anything else than generative AI or AI funded. And that has abated a bit, but there seems to have developed a kind of a state of, it's difficult to describe, in the minds of angel investors and crypto whales, etc. There seems to be like a state of confusion, like a reticence, like this AI space is too crazy for me. I mean, it's the Wild West. You can't do proper due diligence. It's like gambling at a casino, and so they've cooled down a bit on AI, but not to the benefit of anything else than AI. So the way we read the weather out there, the investment weather, it's not good for metaverses yet. And so that's why I wanted to ask this community, this group, who also have their finger on the pulse of this kind of weather, whether you see any signs of clearing, etc. Because I can sympathize with the view, okay, you need to instigate a thaw, you need to create a thaw, but if you're a relatively small startup, that's easier said than done. And you could just as well blow your wad and have nothing for it, and then you just hold the bag.
Yeah, I think, it'll be good. These are good points. And, I think what Gala Collective is going to test is, let's see what the interest is. And I think it's a good thing for anyone listening. Would love to hear in the comments, what you think about what Philip's saying. I imagine many of you do have your finger on the pulse, even, far better than I do. What you think the interest level is, whether you're the VC interest level or the accredited, unaccredited level, interest level. But just to hop back to Gala Collective and talk a little bit more about that. 2 more people that are on stage. We'll start with Lycan Warlord. Some people know him, some people don't.
All right, here we go. Finger on the pulse, baby.
A Gala,
same cliches and phrases.
Who's been around for a while. Like I said,
I'm gonna have to mute me down.
There's a lot of different people with a lot of different opinions. And at the end of the day, I think that everybody comes from a place of wanting to see Gala succeed.
Here we go.
So, I'd love to hear your thoughts on, what you think about the collective, anything else you've been thinking while you've been listening.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
How's it going, everybody? First of all, I wanted to say I didn't know there was only 2 Gala creators out there. That's news to me. Also, I don't know what a security is.
You had to poke it.
Yeah, I had to poke it. It is what it is. I don't know what a security is. So as someone who doesn't invest, as someone who purely focuses on playing games and not about making money, I'm pretty sure security is tied to a way to, I'm assuming, stabilize something. Is there any way you can explain that before I go on any further? Because I don't want to speak without at least knowing that, if possible.
Yeah, well, there's many different types of security, so it's hard to just put in an explanation of what a security is. But generally speaking, it is an interest that you have in a company, and that interest would be defined. In this case, if Gala Collective does go through, it would be a royalty interest. So if the collective is successful, those who own a portion of it would get a percentage of that income.
Okay, so basically, the security would be a way to guarantee our favorite word, ROI of some sort.
Not guaranteed. Nothing's ever guaranteed, right?
Guaranteed if the company does well, I guess is what I'm saying. So if the company's succeeding, then there would be some positive benefit to you.
You go along for the ride with them. Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. My thoughts on this go back to what we talked about on Faz. Shout out to Titan. We sat in there and talked for a long time. I think the models that we see that exist and do so well right now, I feel like people are trying to reinvent the wheel. It almost feels like with Web3, and to a certain extent, I could see that being necessary. because we're trying to make it its own thing. But at the end of the day, most of Web 3 right now is Web 2 with a Web 3 skin on it. And I don't think that makes it truly generational defining or anything like that. The idea, though, that Gala's community, who I really care about, I could give two shits about Gala themselves. I care about the people in it, giving them a way to feel empowered, to help fund things themselves. I mean, I think that's originally what a lot of us thought these FT purchases were going to be for, is to